Hello traders, in today's video I'll be talking about trendline trading strategy, how you can use trendline to better your trading methods, better your entry, and also how you have to use trendline to figure out potential entry in the market, and then how not to draw trendline. So in today's video all of those will be covered in today's video, so stay to the end and learn more about trendline. Remember, this is Remit Trade Academy, the home of successful traders. If you've not subscribed to the channel, ensure you do that for your guy. Let's grow the channel together. Ensure you smash that like button and hit that notification bell. Okay, so let's get right in. Trendline trading strategy. Trendline is one of the most used strategy when trading financial markets. Example in this case, cryptocurrency market. So there are ways you should not draw trend line. So how you should never draw trend line, let me show you that in a moment, how you should never draw trend line. So let's say we have BTC USDT here, BTC USDT. How you should never draw trend line. You see this way, you see on my chart right now, don't draw trend line this way. It's very wrong. It's clumsy and there is nothing you can get out of this kind of trend line that you're drawing. Although it may seem good, but it's a wrong way to draw trend line. Trend line have rules and it has specificity on how you draw them, so that when you're looking out for certain things and the market come in that direction, you can actually take a position or take action depending on either you want to sell or you want to buy the market. So don't draw trend line this way. It's absolutely wrong for you to draw trend line in this manner. So having said that, if this is a wrong way to draw trend line, what is the right way to draw trend line then? So what is the right way for you to draw your trend line? It's very simple. There are 3 steps you need to do for you to draw a correct trend line. Number 1, you have to zoom out the charts. Number 2, you draw out the most clear and significant levels. And number 3, readjust to touch the most touches. That is, you have to readjust it so that you get the most touches, at least 2 touches, And then I'll also show you trend line as an area. That is trend line as a zone and not a particular spot when you draw them. So let's take one after another. The first step you have to do when drawing trend line is that you zoom out a chart. The second one, draw out the most clear and significant levels. And then the third one you have to do is readjust the line after you've drawn it and get the most touches on the chart. So let me show that in a moment. Okay, so let's say for example this is BTC USDT. What you do is that I zoom it. Okay, so I see what is going on here, and then I will not take my trend line. I will not draw my trend line from here. The right way to draw trend line. Okay, you see how I draw it? Now after I've drawn the trend line, remember that's the first thing. You zoom out, you draw it, and ensure it's a clear and significant level. After that, you can now adjust your trend line to have the most touches. Okay, you can now adjust your trend line to have the most touches. So I'm taking from this very place. So we can have here, we have the first, the second, third, fifth, fourth, fifth. This was rejection, and we have 6 here. So you can see this was a perfect trend line. This was a perfect trend line. You can as well draw it as in form of a channel on the upside. That is, you can draw one from this point. You now adjust it for it to have the most touches. See, it has first, second, third, and then this was a breakout. That is, it invalidates the trend line. So that is how you draw a trend line. The first thing you have to do is you have to zoom out the charts, draw the most clear and significant levels, and then you adjust the line as I have done in this case. Very, very simple. So that is how you draw trend line. Now let me move also further to show you on USD Ethereum. So let me go to USDT Ethereum. Ethereum USDT. Okay, so if you look at this very market, the first thing you have to do is you have to zoom out. Once you zoom out, you can get a proper trend. So from here now, I can draw my trend line. I can draw my trend line from this point. Must have the most touches. So you look at it very well. It has 1, 2, 3. This was a rejection. 4, 5 before the trend line was broken. Now, if you draw it to this point, it means your trend line does not touch anything. It only touches 1, 2, 3, and this is left out. Remember, before this was formed, we already have this. So let's assume you've not seen this market before. So it means you're going to draw your trend line from this very angle, from this very place. Okay, so you draw it to this level. So these are perfect way for you to draw trend line. The first thing you have to understand is how to draw it perfectly, and then you now move further to how to use it in your trading methods. For example, when you talk about the impulse pullback strategy, which I'll be taking you through step by step in a moment. So after you draw it, you can then zoom in. Okay, you can zoom in and see what you were doing. Okay, so that is how you draw your trend line. That is a perfect trend line. That's how you draw a perfect trend line. Remember, trend line is used for trend direction. It is used for trend direction. That means you use it to determine the direction of the market, and then you use it to trade, to make your trading decision. Now, another thing you have to look at is trend line as an area. That means trend line is not only a particular spot, as I just draw in the previous example. It's not a particular spot, it's an area. So when you look at this area, you're looking at market to come back into this area, and then you observe what market do at that very area. Does the market reject? What happened? Does the candle close in that region, or there was a spike in that region before the market would go down, or the market break the region and start moving up? What you need to do is to observe what's happened in that region. So trend line as an area. Let's say, for example, you are looking at this very chart. Market was going down, so you draw a trend line from here to the downside. Remember, it must have the most touches. Must have the most touches. So it must touch here. We have another one here. Trend line as an area, that's a zone. And so draw another one here. Now, after drawing, you then adjust the trend line to fit into what you want. Okay, to fit into what you want, then adjust the trend line. Okay, now with this, now I can boldly say that if market come to this region, this area between this line, this first one I draw, then the second one, I'm expecting the market to retrace back down. You can look at here, when the market move right down and market come, it does not enter into the region, but there was a spike into that region before the market go down. Then the market touch the trend line again, and then it goes down at this very point. So it's very important. If you want to use your trend line, always use a trend line as a region. It helps you in impulse pullback trading. Not only that, you can as well draw the trend line down. We can also draw the same thing down like a channel. We have, can also draw it down here as a channel. You can always adjust your trend line to fit what you want. It must have the most touches. Remember that, very important. So let's say I was drawing this at the downside. This is the perfect example of how to draw this trend because it has the most touches. It is well drawn from significant levels, and it shows me the area where I should be looking for the market to reverse before it starts going up. So if you look at this point, it obeys, and this point, little rejection that happened here as well before the market goes up, meet this other one and goes down. So you can draw the trend line in form of channel. This is called a channel in financial markets. So this is a channel and the market goes down. Once the channel is broken, it means that the market is going to ride up. It means the market is going to ride up, or there will be a little correction before there will be a continuation to the downside. That is, after the bulls take control of the market will say come back right down. So that is how you draw trend line as an area. Now remember, in this case, let's say for example the market go right down, touch the line, come back up, touch the line again, move down, the bulls, the bears take control of the market come back up, meet this very point. This was the region, the area where we draw a trend line. This is very significant because if you look at it, this was resistance, 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 and in line with this trend line, very important. This was a very good time to short the markets, that's to sell, especially on Binance futures. We talk about Ethereum USDT market. So if you want to short this market, you are ensure your take profit should be above all this resistance level. You give a buffer, so your stop loss, should be above here. That is, your stop loss should be somewhere here while you enter the market. Immediately after this bearish candle, move out and close. Ensure it's closed before you enter the market. Don't enter the market. Let's say for example you're looking at the 2 hours charts. That is it, 2 hours chart. Immediately after the market close, this candle close, that's when you enter the market. Don't pull your trigger when the candle is still forming. The same thing despite the time frame you are trading. You are trading D1, H4, H1, M15. It doesn't depend. The most important thing you have to know that when trading, ensure that the chart you are looking at close. That is the very candle formation close before you enter your trade, because there may be a manipulation on what you are looking at, and if it happens, it should happen before you take your trade. And also, example, if you enter this trade here, you should enter the trade immediately after the close of this very candle. After the close of this very candle. Then after the close of this very candle as well. Now, if you enter here, the market won't hit you out because your stop loss will be above this resistance level. If you enter here as well, it won't hit your stop loss because the same thing to this point, because it's far away from your stop loss. So that is how you trade trend line from area using impulse pullback methods. So that's very, very simple. If you look at here as well, markets go right down, then after then it hits this very level, this very area, market goes up, touch the first trend line, and then move back down. So if you enter this trade after the formation of this candle or this, you should be in massive profit. Market retrace again, touch this very trend line, and then it move right down and as well touch this very trend line. That's the channel here. So it's very, very simple for you to draw trend line, and when you're drawing trend line, ensure you follow the rules. You zoom out the chart, draw the most clear and significant levels, then you readjust to get the most touches, at least 2 touches first, and then you are good to go with your trend line. Now, trend line as an area, I've talked about that. Now, the last one is trend line breakout. That is, if you are in a trending market, let's say the market was moving up and you're in a trending market, how will you know that that retracement have ended and the impulse will begin? I'll show you that in a moment. And the trend line is used for trend direction. It gives you prior information about what the trend will do, or what the trend is going to do when you are trading the financial market. I've talked about that as well. So let's say, for example, you were trading this very asset, that is Ethereum USDT. You're trading Ethereum USDT, and let's say, for example, you were here and you trade this guy here. Now, how will you know that this very retracement, this pullback have ended? You can as well just place your trend line. Trend line, we have different types of trend line. We have long time trend line, we have medium time trend line, and short time trend line. So once you draw your trend like this and you see a breakout of this trend line, this is a good time for you to place your buy order or go long on this very particular asset, that is Ethereum USDT. And then remember, your stop loss as well will be below this very level, that is at this point, so that the market, if it goes back down against you, it will have a buffer for it to breathe before it can hit your stop loss. So you draw the trend line out, ensure it have 2 touches. If you look at this very well, you have 1, 2, 3. Then you see a breakout. Now, not only a breakout that we see here, we see a momentum in this bearish candle. There was a very good momentum in this very candle, which signified that market is going to go up. Not only that, if you look at the way this bearish candle was forming, it was forming very, very little. And when this momentum comes in, it became very big. That means the bulls are ready to take control of the market. And after that, we see that the market ride up. Very, very simple. You know, technical analysis is all about you to calm down and look at your chart very well with the tool that's at your disposal, or with your technical know-how and also your experience. Another one here is this. You can also draw this trend line here. You can also draw this trend here. And once it breaks here, you confirm this entry. You can also wait for a retest. In this case, for example, you see the market break out, retest the trend line, and then move up to this point. So trend line, as in the case of using it for a breakout trading method, or you want to use it as well for impulse pullback. So when it breaks at this point, you enter. You can also use trend line in several cases. Let's look at another example in a bearish market. If you look at this very market was coming down, market comes down, retrace, and comes down again. So you can draw a trend line from here. Draw a trend line from here down. Okay, so once you draw a trend line from here down, you are looking for a breakout here to confirm that this trend, this very impulse, is going to come down. Not only that, let me see whether I can see another example. See this very example as well. You have another trend here, a short time trend. These are all short time trend, which is an impulse of this move. This is impulsive move, retracement. This is a retracement of this move, or you can also call it a correction of this very particular move. So when the market corrects, you draw out the trend line to know and be very sure that the correction have ended. For you to know that the correction have ended is when you see a breakout of this trend line. 2 things will happen. It can just break and start to move right down. It can break and retest. Now, if it break and retest, it's a more confirmation for you, and then it comes down. It's a more confirmation for you that this very market is still going to go down, and then you can enter your short position Very, very simple. Very, very simple. So that is how you draw trend line. That is how you draw medium term and short term trend line when taking impulse pullback trading. Very, very simple. So I believe you have learned a lot in today's training. So trend line is used for trend direction, and it gives you prior information about what the trend is doing and all that. Now, if you have any questions concerning this very topic, you can always check in the description below and contact me anytime, okay? And then if you have any question also on any topic concerning cryptocurrency, also check in the description below and then contact me as well. Remember to check in the description below to pass through the link and get 20% commission when you sign up with my link on Binance, and you also get a free discount on your trading fee. Having said that, ensure you subscribe to the channel, guys, and like the video, share the video, and turn on the notification bell so that anytime I upload a creative content like this, you get notified. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.